Hi guys! Welcome to Rustic and Lace DIY. For those of you who are new, my name is Brenda. Welcome for those of you returning. So happy to have you here. I'm going to do something a little different today since I've had so many videos out lately. I'm going to do one based on gifts for graduates. But really, these gifts can be made for anything. But I thought I would show you some things that I've done for my nephews in the past that have graduated, as well as some gifts that I made for my co-workers' birthdays. So with that being said, let's get to gifting. Okay, for this first project, you're going to need any kind of jar, a toilet paper roll, emptied of course, and some candy and some money. So I start off by putting the toilet paper roll inside the jar and then putting the money inside that toilet paper roll. And then just pouring the candy inside the jar. Now I tried to do this, so it wasn't working out like I was hoping. Let's just put it that way. But you just get it all in there. And then what I did is I got one of those little graduation caps from the Dollar Tree, and I took some ribbon, some green and white ribbon that I got from Walmart a while back. And I just hot glued them together and then hot glued them around the jar. Sorry that the hat is blocking all of that. I didn't realize it till I was editing. And then here I have some class of 2021 ribbon that I am putting around the other ribbons that I hot glued onto the jar. And then there's little Oliver. He came to say hello. Oh, there he is. He needs a haircut really bad. So then after that, I took that hat and I didn't want that tinsel, so I took it all off. And then I had bought some green felt from Walmart, and I'm going to cut it down to size to fit that squared area of the cap. And then I'm going to just hot glue it all the way around. Now you can do all kinds of things with this. I mean, you can fill it with any kind of candy. You can use a bigger jar if you wanted. But I just think it's kind of a fun little surprise. You know, your graduate or whoever the gift might be for will go and open their jar thinking they're getting candy, and then surprise, there'll be some money in the middle. In the middle. So then I just cut a hole in the middle of the felt for the little string that was on that cap. And then I'm going to just hot glue it all on. Now again, these ideas that I'm sharing today, they can be for graduation, they can be for birthdays, anniversaries, just, I mean, any little thing, or even just a, welcome gift or thank you gift or anything like that. So there it is. So then I just took those two little scraps that I had cut off the felt, and I'm just hot gluing them around the base of that hat. And these are some really just simple, easy projects. Like I said, these are just things that I've done in the past for my nephews, and just thought it might be kind of fun to do something a little different other than home decor, and just kind of show you just some ideas of some things that you can do. And there's all kinds of stuff that you can do for grads. There, I just took that 2021 ribbon and wrapped it around the middle there. And now I'm taking some embroidery floss, and I'm just going to make a tassel with it. I just wrap it around my hands, cut it, and then I take some of that string and wrap it around towards the top. And then I'm making a knot. I cut the bottom strands, and then my tassel is made. And then once that is made, I take some more of that floss and I go through the top part and just loop it onto that little string that was on the cap. And of course, you got to have your little number, a year for on your tassel. So I took some of these gold stickers and I put it on 2021, and I trim out that paper. You'll see here in a moment what I do. I have a really tiny hole punch there. Makes really small holes. So I just put a little hole and put some of that string, that embroidery floss through it, and then I just attach that to the tassel. And what you don't see is I did add some curling ribbon to the where the lid meets the jar as well. I thought it just needed a little something extra. So there you go. And you can put as much money in there as you want. Okay, for the next project, this is, I call it a money cake. I've done this for my nephews. They were a much bigger scale than this one. I figured I'm going to do a small one from this nephew since he's actually going to get all three of these gifts. So I just started out by, I had these foam rounds that I got from the Dollar Tree. And that round cardboard I've had, but I had gotten that from Walmart in the baking, like the wedding cake area where they buy supplies to make wedding cakes and that kind of stuff. So I'm just hot gluing that the white foam, I don't know what you call it, down onto that cardboard, and then the green one on top of the white one. And then I'm taking some dollar bills, and you can do this, like I said, as big as you want or as little as you want. It's all up to you. I'm rolling up the ones. Now, when you roll them, you don't want to roll them too tight, because then, unless you have a whole bunch of money, because then you'll have a lot of gaps, which you can always fill in with candies or whatever. But after doing, I think I've done 3 or 4 of these, I've learned to not roll them so tight, because I rolled them so tight and then I had to undo all of them and start over. But I'm just putting little rubber bands around them, and I'm just going to go all the way around the top and the bottom. And I would suggest starting at the top and then going down to the bottom. Right now I'm just spacing them. I'm just placing them there to make sure I have, how many ones I need for this project. But when I start pinning them in, I start on the bottom. I should have started at the top because it would have made it a lot easier. So they're all done there. So I'm taking some straight pins and I'm just putting it through the hole on the bottom, and then poking it through the dollar bills. And then I'm going to push that straight pin into that styrofoam. Now, you can use double-sided tape for this. I used to work in a bank, and I know how hard it is to work with money that has sticky stuff on it. So I don't like to do that. But I use these push pins, and I think they work out great. You just push them into that styrofoam, and they just go right in, and they hold right in place. Sometimes that double-sided tape, it didn't stick very well, and I would have to be fixing it all the time. So here I'm just going all along the bottom, but again, it would be better to start at the top, because when I got to the top part, I did have to take some of those dollar bills off to put them on the top and then replace the ones on the bottom. So you just go all the way around the base, the top and the base, until it is all full. And again, you can make this, as big. You can do $5 bills. It just all depends on how much money you want to give. I think the $1 bills just makes it look like it's a lot more than what it is. So I just put some paper on the top there, and I probably should have done that on the bottom as well, but I didn't think about it till after I already started pinning everything in place. And then I got one of those balloon holders, and I think I got that at Dollar Tree. And then that 2021 little thing I got from, I think it was Hobby Lobby. So then I took some of that 2021 ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby and wrapped it around the base. And then I took some of that green and white ribbon, and I'm wrapping it around those dollar bills. And then I'm just hot gluing them together, not onto the bills, just to themselves. And here I am putting some stickers around the board on the bottom, but I didn't like them. I end up taking them off. So then I take, and actually that might have been, I had some letters, so I spelt out my nephew's name, and I had gotten those from Hobby Lobby a couple of years ago. And so now I'm just making some fans out of the dollar bills here, and I'm just going to put one on each side of his name. And then I'm going to put some up on the top, 2 on the top layer as well. And that's pretty much it. I did have a little few stickers that I put on his name. He loves bow ties, and there was a couple of bow ties, so I put them on his name. But there you go. It's something, it's not hard. It can be a little time consuming, but it's kind of a fun little gift. And you know, when kids see money, their eyes pop out and they get very excited. Okay, for the last craft or gift idea, this is a candy bouquet. Now, I used to make this for my coworkers for their birthdays all the time, and they always loved this. So, and as usual, I always buy too much candy, and I still have a whole bunch of candy left over. So I just get boxes that are about the same size, and I usually get what I know is their favorite candies. And I just put some double-sided tape on the sides of the boxes, and I just tape them together. Now, you could probably use hot glue. I haven't tried hot glue before. I always use double-sided tape, and I wasn't sure. I didn't want it to be too hard for him to take apart. And so I get that into a square, and then I take some floral foam and cut it down to size, and then I wrap it in some tissue, and I stick it down inside the hole of that square, and then of course just fluff the tissue up. And then I get these dowels or skewers, either one, and I tape them. Now with these bigger boxes, you want to make sure you put a lot of tape on there, and you want to make sure the tape is hitting the skewer as well, to hold it in place. Otherwise they slip off, which I've had a few happen and I had to go back and retape. And then you just start layering them into that the floral foam. And I usually, do bigger towards the back and the smaller ones towards the front, and then I might pop some smaller ones here and there, just kind of make it look full. And here you'll see me doing a couple small ones, and I just place them more towards the front. And then I roll up some dollars. Now, you could do a lot more. I only did 5 on here because I did all those other dollars on the money cake. But I rolled these up and I put those little rubber bands around them, and then I'm just connecting them to one of the skewers and then just poking them in. Now, what I don't show is I do go with some curling ribbon, and I put some around the money and just kind of all over the place. So here I just had one of those little smiley face graduates, and I hot glued it to a dowel, and then I took one of those balloon weights, and I took all those strands off that didn't say happy birthday and taped them together, and then I'm taping them to a skewer and putting that on the top. And then I'm just wrapping it again with some of that green and white ribbon, and it just kind of gives it a little more festive pop. And then once I'm done with that, I take this class of 2021. It came on a necklace from the Dollar Tree, and I just couldn't stand that it was red because the school colors are green and white. So I'm just using my Arteza paint pen that I got for my birthday from my sweet husband, and I'm coloring in that red with the green. And then once I do that, I hot glue it onto those ribbons, and I believe that is the finished product. And again, I went in with some curling ribbon, and it just looks really cute. But if you're doing this, you can always add a lot more money and less candy if you want. There's so much you can do with these kinds of things. I hope you guys like the video today. Let me know what you think. If you would like to see more gift ideas, I'd be happy to show you some. If not, that's great. I love my DIY, my home decor too. In fact, we'll be back to the home decor next week, but just since I've been so busy with the different videos that I posted, I wanted to just do a small video for you guys with something a little different. So here are the final 3 gift ideas, and yeah, I hope you liked the video. I hope it gave you some ideas for some fun little gifts, and I hope you guys all have a great week. I will be back next Wednesday, so we will see you then. Have a blessed week and take care. Bye-bye.